Welcome to an unboxing from theplayersaid.com. I'm Grant. You might be asking, what's Grant doing unboxings? Well, recently I bought this game for myself for my birthday in late January. It's a game I've had my eye on for several years. One, I enjoy the American Revolutionary War, and two, it's a solitaire game. So it's a game that I can play at home at my leisure and don't have to worry about Alexander's schedule. But this game is from White Dog Games. Right here you can see that. They're a small publisher that actually has done a lot of really cool games. This is the first game of theirs that I've owned and played. I haven't played this yet, sorry, owned. But they also use Blue Panther, which is a printer, the same printer that Hollandspiel and I think Conflict Simulations Limited uses. They are really an on-demand printer, meaning I ordered this game. I think I ordered it on a Sunday late afternoon. I got a shipping notice about a week later, and then I received the game. All told, it took 4 days, I think, to ship. So I got this in less than 2 weeks. So I thought that was very reasonable. A little pricey, gonna be honest. I paid $53 for this. Some of that was postage, but a little pricey. But I did get the boxed edition. So you can see it comes in a nice box. Really nice looking. Actually, they use some historical paintings there for the cover. But overall, as I've looked at the game and started to look into the rules, and very well made game. The game is designed by Ben Madison. If you're unfamiliar with Ben Madison, he's done a lot of solo games. One that I've played that I really enjoy is Mound Builders. Actually, I say Ben Madison only. It was Wes Ernie as well. And I think that Wes Ernie acted as the developer on this game with Ben Madison. But very cool game. A very different game. This is not a game where you are acting as the Patriots and controlling Washington and the Continental Congress. But you are taking the side of the British. So you are, dealing with Lord North back in England, trying to keep him happy. I'll talk a little bit about that as I look at some of the pieces, but you're then prosecuting war on the colonies. The colonies on the map, not all 13 colonies are represented specifically, but there's kind of regional areas. And then you've got troops, and you've got to control 3 out of those 5 areas in order to score victory points, and that's how you judge whether you've done well or not. There's also smugglers that are, I think, representative of the French and other powers trying to get weapons and men into you as you fight the war, or as the Patriots, not into you but into your enemy. So you're trying to take those out with Lord Howe. He commands the Navy. But very interesting looking game, and I'm excited to get into it. Let's go ahead and look at the back of the box. You can see there's a look at all the components. The map is, very abstract. It's kind of boxes and laid up in columns with different charts and stuff. Very nice looking counters. The game is a solitaire game. Once again, you can see the suitability there is a 9. Complexity, it says it's a 5. I don't know that I can comment on that at this point because I haven't necessarily played it yet. It does take 4 hours to play, it says. I'm not sure if that's real or just an overestimation. The other thing I wanted to point out is this is I think it's game number 1 in Ben Madison's British Wars trilogy. I think Mrs. Thatcher's War is another one, but I'm not sure what the third one is. So anyway, you'll probably tell me. I know how you guys are. But very cool looking game. Let's go ahead and look inside the box, as this is an unboxing, not necessarily a review, because I don't know what I'm really talking about. But I don't know. Very cool game. I'm very excited about it. So here, the first thing you see are a couple of sheets of rules. Here is an optional rules, and it says a 1779 scenario. designed in 8th of March of 2015. So about a year after it was released, the game was released in 2014. So I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into this one that much. You can see there's only 3 pages of rules. And this is a late war scenario. So I'll be interested to see how that differs from the regular game. Once again, just gives some extra replayability. Here's a look at the rules. Important parts are, looks like they're color-coded, laid out very well. There's only 14 pages of rules with a bunch of designer notes at the back. There's a lot of text there, I'm going to be honest. This is a very text-rich rule book. So really looks like there's 12 pages of rules. And they're pretty dense. Doesn't appear to be a lot of examples of play, but I'm not sure that's going to be a problem. I don't think that it's overly difficult. Complexity of a 5, I think I can figure it out. Normally Alexander reads most of our rules and is very good at it. But that's a look at the rule book. The counters. Counters are very cool. They are the laser cut. I'm going to go ahead and pop one of those out. Let's see. Looks like it's pretty centered. Kind of a nifty treatment there with the flag. There's no reduced side. The only thing I don't like about these are the nubs. You'll notice there's the nubs. Those can be filed off, trimmed off, but that is the one downside with these laser cut counters. You can see here's different troops and formations. There's some Hessians. You got Hessians. You also have loyalists that you're recruiting, trying to use in battle. You have the Hessian mercenaries there. There are different markers showing the loyalty of the different colonies. How for the rebellion are they? You also have some Native American allies, the Mohawk and the Cherokee, trying to keep them involved and to benefit you. Here are examples of the smugglers. You can see the smuggler counters here. Privateers are armed smugglers, basically. And then here's the continental troops that you're trying to defeat. Different administrative markers there on the bottom. The Congress, Jefferson, Washington, Liberty. That is the Liberty track. I'll show you that on the map. That is kind of the support for the revolution that's going to kind of ebb and flow throughout the game. The game turn there. You have a French unit and a French fleet. And then this is your money marker. That's a British pound sign. Very nice looking counters. Very clear. The only problem I have with them is those nubs. But I don't know that that's a big deal. I'll probably get a file and sand those down. I've done that a couple different times. Here is the turn record track. And it's just a sheet of paper, a thick sheet of paper. You'll notice that there are certain events listed on the calendar there. These targets are pretty interesting. I mentioned Lord North earlier in the video, but basically each round, Lord North is telling you, hey, in 1775, I want you to take New England. And you'll notice there in late 75, New England as well. You're going to score victory points. If you succeed at that, you can see the next one is New York. You've got Pennsylvania. And what you want to do is you want to control those areas. Control is identified by British regulars and the presence of no continental troops. So in these areas on the map, you got to have no continental troops in that to be considered controlled. And that can be very challenging because at any time, through an event or an action of the Patriots, one of those units can slip by and get in there. So you got to really pay attention to that. Here you got a CRT. You can see attacker SP as percentage of defender SP. So let's say your attacking SP is 8 and your defender is only a 5. That's a 50%. So you're going to go to that's 100%. You're going to go to that 100% column and you'll see the different results. There you keep track of units out of play. And then here is the militia table. That is how many militia are generated in and around the different colonies. There's some different rules for that once again, I'm not completely 100% sure on. There's a player aid card that lists all the different, the random events here on the front of the table. And then on the back is the sequence of play. And you can see it's fairly procedural. You're going to force adjustments. You're going to do that. And then you're going to move down to smuggler phase and naval phase. But I'm okay with that. That's what solitaire gaming is about. It's about following a fairly clear and well-outlined sequence of play to understand how to get through the game. And once you get familiar with it, I think it plays pretty quickly. Once again, that play time of 4 hours, don't know how realistic that is or how on that is. But yeah, detailed sequence of play. So here's the map, and I'm going to say I like the map. I've read online where some people were dissatisfied with the map. And this may be a second edition map, and I'm not really sure. Maybe that's the case, that this is the second edition map, and it's improved quite a bit. But you can see it's a map of the eastern seaboard, the original 13 colonies. They're grouped here. Remember I talked about those 5 boxes. You can see New England is grouped together, and it includes Rhode Island and Maine and parts of Nova Scotia. Obviously, those weren't colonies. Then Massachusetts and Connecticut. Then you've got the New York box, which has different elements of New York. The Hudson Valley, which was very, very important. That's where West Point was, and Benedict Arnold perpetrated treason and almost handed that over to the British, and that would have kind of cut the colonies in two and allowed them to really put pressure on the inner parts of New York. You got Pennsylvania there, which includes New Jersey, as well as some of the surrounding area. You've got Virginia, and then down here you've got the Carolinas, which is South and North Carolina. But very well laid out. I think it looks very cool and thematic. I think it's very interesting. These blue boxes are your C boxes. That is where your smugglers are going to move in. So you're going to have smugglers appearing in these. You're going to have to move your British ships. Remember, you're playing as the British. You're going to have to move your British ships up here to take out those smugglers. And you do that through rolls. Different elements like that, I think fairly represented well here on the board. I even like the inclusion of the "Don't Tread on Me" down here that you can see in the very right corner. I don't know. I really like this layout. The map is really thick. It almost has a velour look to it, almost like a texturized. But it's very well done. I'm going to put that under Plexi, and that's going to be really nice looking. I've got my Plexi over there that I could probably bring over now and show you. But also, you'll notice the different boxes. There's Indians. There's a militia that you can garner from Quebec to use. Loyalist are tracked on here. Where's that Loyalist box? Here's the different Loyalist militia present. So there's a lot of different things represented on this map. And frankly, I think it's pretty nice, considering, it's a solitaire game, and it's not like it's gonna have all the detail that some of the other games that we play do. I like the counters. I think they look great. Overall, I think this package is well worth $50. I'm going to be honest, as long as the game itself is good, and I have no reason to believe that it won't be. I don't know. I think this is going to be a pretty fun game. It's another game on the American Revolutionary War that I would like to play. I've got probably half a dozen, or actually 8 or 9. If you remember last year, I wrote a piece on our blog about kind of a ranking of those 7 or 8 Revolutionary War games that I've played. Since that time, I posted it last July. I think I did it on July the 4th. We have since played a couple of additional games, Campaigns of 1777, which appears in Decision Games magazine. We've also played Freeman's Farm from Worthington Publishing. We have Tricolor, Commands and Colors Tricorn, Tricolor Tricorn, that we're going to play. I'm going to try to play this one before this year. So we're going to have 3 or 4 new games that we've played that we can add to that list and try to do a ranking. So there you have it. Don't Tread on Me, the American Revolution solitaire board game from White Dog Games, a very small publisher that frankly puts out very good games that I've seen. And thanks for sharing the game with me. I'm glad that I was able to do this. I will definitely give this a couple of plays, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it, and maybe even write some content for the blog. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I've been Grant with the Player's Aid.